Good morning, everybody, and welcome. I tell you what, we got 5 guests on today, 5 guests, and our next one is around about 7 o'clock tonight. In the meantime, we got Naomi, and so guys, if can I just say on the radio, if you're listening on the radio, don't forget to leave your messages in the right hand column. And if you're listening on the podcast here, please do it in the left so we don't get all the messages mixed up. Okay, Naomi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thank you for having me. How are you?
That's fine. Brilliant. Really, really, really good. Tell us about yourself, what you do and everything.
Oh, okay. So I'm Naomi, obviously. I I am an anxiety specialist. So I specialise in working with new mums that have got anxiety, so postnatal anxiety. And the reason I call myself the anxiety healer, and the reason that I specialise in working with new mums is because of my own experience with anxiety as a new mum. But it kind of my journey with anxieties kind of started a lot longer than that, a long time before that. When I was about 20, 21, I had a breakdown.
Right.
I was in lots of panic attacks, and I was scared to leave the house. I was very highly anxious, very depressed as well. It was quite a very low time in my life, probably the lowest I've ever been. And I kind of got over that.
Is it normal to have anxiety as a new mum?
Yeah. Well, no, it's not normal. There are some levels of. So look at it as a spectrum, and you will have as a new mum, because a lot of people will, because it's new and you've never done it before, you will have some worries and you will lack a bit of confidence because it's all new and whatnot. But for some, anxiety can be absolutely really debilitating as a new mum, because you start to worry about worst case scenarios. Now, this is when it becomes really debilitating, when you're worrying about worst case scenarios. And for me, I had terrifying thoughts about harm coming to my baby. Absolutely. And real graphic images in my head, like graphic daydreams of awful things happening to my baby. And I think it's about 1 in 10 mums that experience that. So yeah, there's definitely some level of anxiety in most new parents, but for some it can be huge and can be debilitating, especially if you're worrying about worst case scenarios. And also for me, I had really low self-esteem. I didn't trust myself. I didn't believe in myself. I just walked, and I fell into parenting with absolutely no emotional skills to handle it.
Okay, so with new mums, it's really, really kind of like sometimes you go into a strange new world because you kind of like you have your baby, you're a new mum, you have and you get taught that you've got to get on with it. I
Mm.
remember when I was a new dad. I was a dad, and for me, it was like changing nappy. Well, how do you change a nappy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this is the issue. This is part of the issue. Is you're absolutely on the spot on there. We've got, who knows how to change a nappy. It's like there's loads of stuff like that though, isn't there? When you become a new parent, it's absolutely loads of firsts. And but if you've got low self-esteem, anxiety, you care too much about what other people think, all those sort of unhelpful emotional health problems, you're gonna struggle even more, because you'll put like pressure on yourself to be
Mm.
like this perfect parent, when actually, it's just a thing. It's a new thing, a new skill to learn. You know what I mean?
Is
That's
is there a perfect parent? I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, perfection doesn't exist, does it? But
No.
so many of us think that we have these standards that we set ourselves, like up here. And I certainly did this. And this is when you start to feel anxious and and depressed and stuff like that, and low mood and things. Is you've set these standards for yourself, and you go, right, well, I have to be this. I have to be up here as a parent, and actually reality is probably about down here. And then you're really, really hard on yourself for not meeting these big expectations that you set yourself. It's massive. It's certainly a huge roadblock for me. Is I went into parenting saying I am going to be this awesome like Earth Mother, and I was struggling. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, so I was so beat myself up about it.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
it's okay to learn and as you go along and not be perfect and get things wrong. But I never told
So,
myself that. I didn't
so
allow
how
myself to
long?
make mistakes.
So how long does anxiety last after having a baby? Then.
Well, there's no time scale on it. See, this is the thing. A lot of people will say that the anxiety is hormonal, or postnatal depression and anxiety is hormonal. It's not. It's to do with your it's to do with you and your mindset, and how you deal with things, and how you manage your emotions and your thoughts and things like that. So there's no time scale on it. It's not something that just goes away. You have to do the inner work to to improve it or to get rid of it. That's why I had
Yes.
anxiety
Yeah.
for such
Yeah.
a long time, because I didn't do the work. I just thought, oh well, it's something I have to live with, and I've got to apply some sort of coping strategy
And that's
to cope.
and that's it. And that's settled because soon you got new children on the scene, and and the trouble is, your partner and you're thinking, oh my gosh, how do I even do a bottle? Say,
Yeah.
I remember kind of like using MSA, the milk, and I was
Hmm.
thinking, how many of this, how many of that? How do you change a nappy?
Hmm.
Um, how many times do I have to get up during the night? It's
It's a massive minefield. It's a
it is,
massive
isn't it?
minefield. But
Yeah.
um, but that's okay. You're not going to know that stuff. This is the thing. If you're not going to know that stuff, and my other half, he was fine. He was like, oh yeah, I don't know this stuff. I'll learn it. But because he's completely different to me, whereas he was just like, yeah, it's new. Oh, see what happens. Whereas I was like, I have to get this right, otherwise I'm a bad mother. That's the difference. That's why he was fine, and I had depression, anxiety, and OCD, and he didn't, because we had completely different
Are
experiences.
you still together today? Are you still
Yes,
together
yeah,
today?
yeah, 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 yeah. We
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
So what are you two like now then?
Yeah. Oh, I'm a lot more chilled out. I'm loads more chilled out.
Good, good.
Then
And how old are your children then?
I've just got one little boy and he's 7.
Right, okay. And what's
Yeah.
he like now from when he was? What are you like? So you're chilled out, but you know when you first had your child,
Mm.
and did you feel sometimes that, oh no, did you go into a lot of depression,
Mm.
and did you feel like that? Did you feel anything? Or did you get any horrible thoughts, like saying,
Yes.
like you want
Yeah.
to do something to the baby and everything?
Yeah. I've got this vivid memory of taking him, walking him up the stairs um, when he was tiny, probably like a couple of days old, and I got to the top of the stairs, and this thought popped into my head: throw him down the stairs, and it terrified me. And then I couldn't get rid of that thought. And then I stopped walking him up the stairs. I'd make my other half do it, and because I thought I actually thought, oh my god, you are a monster. You're gonna throw him down the stairs. And this is OCD,
Yeah,
intrusive thoughts. Yeah, I struggled with intrusive thoughts when he was born. Actually, after working through all my issues and coming out the other side, I've discovered that actually so many parents have intrusive thoughts, but it's just one of those things that's not talked about. It's another one of those things that's not talked about.
yeah,
But
yeah. You're
just
right there. Yeah,
yeah. Oh, I've gone a bit blurry. Um, that's another symptom of anxiety.
yeah.
You're
Is it normal for the first time to be scared?
um I can't speak for everyone. I think um I think most people, because you don't know what to expect, it can be scary. But very much depends on the person. Because if you've got unwavering belief in yourself and confidence, and you're resilient, and you know that you can handle whatever comes your way, you might be a bit scared, but you've still got faith in yourself. But if you walk into it and you aren't very resilient, you crumble at any sort of um, challenge. It all depends on the person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And with your anxiety, your heart, did your heart rate, or did you get any stomach kind of like tightness and chest? Because that's all part of the anxiety.
Oh, yeah. What, the physical symptoms?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. For me, I just put like permanently had a tight chest. Tight chest. Um, and I know some of the mums that I speak to, they have this didn't happen to me, but some of the mums that I speak to have this weird feeling like they're like nothing's real. And that can be really, really scary when you feel like you sort of the world around you isn't quite real.
Yeah,
And that is from being you get that feeling from being in a sustained state of stress or anxiety. Your brain sort of disconnects, and
right,
it's
okay.
all because you are basically, when you're anxious, you're in something called the fight or flight response. I think most people have heard of that.
Yeah,
So the reason we have anxiety is to deal with some sort of danger. That's why we have it. So if your house was on fire, you would feel anxious, and that because your body is preparing you to run away or fight that danger. So you'd run away from the fire, wouldn't you? I wouldn't recommend fighting it yourself. So if they send someone else to fight it, you'd run
yeah,
away, wouldn't you? Run away from that danger. But
yeah,
when but when you've created that danger yourself with your thoughts, that's called anticipatory anxiety. when you're feeling anxious because of some thoughts that you're having, and it's constant, your body and your mind thinks that you're in real danger. So it's focusing everything on dealing with that danger. But there isn't a danger. You're not in danger. You created that anxiety yourself with your thoughts. And then you get those horrible sensations, like, not feeling real. Like, some people get fuzzy vision, pins and needles. Yeah, for me, hot, tight chest, I clench my jaw, all that stuff. It's just your body preparing to deal with a danger. But then what happens is you feel the sensations on your body, and that's really annoying that it keeps going blurry like that. Yes, you feel the sensations on your body, and then that sends a message back to the mind to say, oh, there's something, you've got to prepare for some sort of danger, and then that creates more stress on the body and more anxious thoughts, and it just gets out of control. But you're not actually in danger. You've just had, like me, I wasn't in danger when that thought popped in my head, throw him down the stairs. I wasn't in danger. I just had a thought.
Yeah.
But it created that response on my body that I was in danger. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. Did you tell me more about your OCD?
So I didn't know this was OCD at the time. I actually thought I was going mad, or that, there was something wrong with me. This is really annoying me. There we go. I would have a terrifying thought that would pop in my head, and it would make me panic, and then I would adapt my behavior because of that thought. So and then I would think about it. So the obsession is, I would have that thought, I'm throwing down the stairs, and I would not be able to get ready. I would not be able to stop thinking about that. I would obsess about that. That thought, you're going to throw him down the stairs, aren't you? You're going to throw him down the stairs. And the compulsion is, I wouldn't be able to walk him up and down the stairs. I'd have to get someone else to do it, because I was terrified that I'd follow that thought through. That was my OCD. I remember sitting in the living room one day, holding him, and a thought popped in my head: smash his head on the table.
Oh, right.
And it terrified me. So I handed him to my other half. And then I couldn't stop thinking about it, obsessively thinking about it. And I was thinking, I'm not safe to be his mum. I'm not. And it really, it really scared me. Really scared me. And I thought, oh my God, there's something wrong with me. I'm a psychopath. Someone's going to, and then I started worrying about him being taken away from me. And it was just a thought, and actually people have these thoughts all the time. But when you've got OCD, you obsess about it. If you haven't got OCD, you just go, oh, that's a thought, and it passes. You think, oh, why do I think that? That's a bit weird. And then you don't give it a second thought. Do you know what I mean? That's the difference.
So what do you do now then? So do you kind of like help other people with these problems?
I do, yes. Yeah. I have a program that has all the steps in it to be able to overcome anxiety.
Great.
For good. Because a lot of the messages we get about anxiety is that it's something you have to learn to live with, and you manage it. But what I do is I get to the root of the problem. So we work on peeling back the layers and finding out what the actual root cause of the anxiety is, and work on that. And then the anxiety doesn't happen. So that's what I do.
So if some mums are listening now, there's quite a few mums I see, because they always following our channel. If they're listening now, what would you say to them?
What What if a mum's got anxiety?
Yeah.
I'd. What would I say to them? I don't know. It's okay. You're not a bad person because of it. There is light at the end of the tunnel. You can overcome this. Go, speak about it. Get some help. Don't struggle along on your own. Go and get some help. Best thing I ever did was getting some help.
Okay. And how about your plan? What kind of, if they want to join your plan, how can they do that?
Well, I've got a Facebook group that called Invincible Mums, and yeah, it's just like a nice community, and it's like a lot of the Facebook groups that I come across for anxiety are all about people talking about their symptoms and talking about how shit they feel, and really like getting obsessed about how they feel. But my group's a bit different. It's about uplifting. It's about moving you forward. It's about giving you the emotional skills to deal with parenting in a calm, sort of confident way. Yeah, that's my dream, is that all mums will be prepared emotionally for parenthood.
Okay.
And that's what I want to do with this group.
Brilliant, really good. And why should they join your Facebook group?
Why?
Yeah.
Because it's different to all the other groups. We're all about. I'm not about sitting in how, and I honor this. I honor how you feel because I've been there. But I'm about moving you forward, and inspiring and motivating, and getting you and feeling better. That's why my group's different, because a lot of the other groups are just about talking about how shit you feel.
Well done. And so, can you tell everybody about your group again? So so you've got a Facebook group. It's called what's it called?
Invincible Mums.
Invincible Mums.
Yeah.
And don't forget, guys, if you want to go on Facebook and look for Invincible Mums, you can join the group there. It's a supported group and everything, so don't forget. And also, do you have a website?
I don't at the moment. No.
No, you don't have a website. Okay.
Facebook. Yeah, if I do a lot of stuff on my profile page. So if anyone wants to send me a friend request, you're welcome to. But yeah,
Brilliant.
I don't
have really good. We've got some questions here for you.
Oh, right. Okay, brilliant.
Is that all right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, Naomi. My name's Philippa. I live in Scotland. I've been going through OCD myself. I do a lot, especially doing cleaning. It keeps me active. And I found out the other day that I have a personality disorder. I nearly tripped my son down the stairs once. I know what you're going through. Anxiety is a big issue.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, Philippa. You can get better though. I want you to know that you can get better.
Yeah, join Naomi's group if I was you and get some support.
Yeah, come on, everyone's welcome. No,
yeah,
and that's another big thing. Non-judgmental. You can say anything you like in there. There's no judgment.
Good. Carmen wants to know. Hi, Steve. This was very interesting this morning. Thank you so much. No, that's okay. Would it be possible if Naomi comes back again and tells us more? I will ask. Would it be possible if I can have Naomi's phone number? Sorry, we do not give out phone numbers on here. But all we can do is give you a Facebook address.
Or an email address. I can give my email out.
Yeah. Okay. No, give it to me. Give it to me later, then I will put it on our website. Yeah.
All right, lovely.
All right. Hi, Steve. That was really interesting. Naomi is really, really a positive person, and thank God that we got people like her who can help us. Yeah, that's fine. Um, Karen wants to know, um, what's, what are you like now? Is your anxiety still there, or is it gone?
Oh, it's gone. I don't have anxiety anymore. Um, I might get the odd twinge every now and again, but it's gone very quickly because I know how to deal with it, and I've dealt with my demons. Yeah, it's gone.
Brilliant, brilliant. Leanne wants to know, have you got a book that we can buy or anything?
Oh no, I haven't. But what a wonderful idea! I forgot a book. Um, I tell you, you could maybe join my email list. I share stories like this all the time on my email list and on my Facebook and stuff. So, I haven't got a book, but come and follow me. I share stuff like this all the time.
Good. Yeah, here we go. Samantha wants to know, how long did you have anxiety for?
How long?
Yeah,
Yeah, I had it for 20 years. 20 it was when I had my breakdown when I was 20. Um and I was having lots and lots of panic attacks, and I was constantly anxious. And I did manage to recover from that breakdown, but it left me with anxiety. And so I generalized anxiety for 20 years, and then I dealt with it when my son was born because it got out of control when he was born. I kept it. I managed to keep it under. It was functional. I was functional anxiety, and then when he was born, it was just
yeah,
exploded.
okay,
Um,
brilliant. Um, Rob wants to know, what's it like now between you and your husband or your partner? Anxiety can be a big issue, and
yeah,
sometimes partners split up.
yeah, absolutely. Do you know what? I'll be honest. We've had our ups and downs, and he's and that is so normal, so normal when you have a kid to have your ups and downs. And that's another thing, isn't it? Another thing. It does affect your relationships, um, and you have to work at it. But and yeah, like I was saying earlier, he's like super confident. He's never had anxiety in his life. So he doesn't really understand. He doesn't really understand it, but he tries. He tried, and he was very, very supportive. So um, yeah, we're in a good place. We're in a good place now. But yeah, we have had our ups and downs, and you have to sort of almost reassess your relationship after you've had a child, because it changes. The dynamic changes. Um, but yeah,
Good,
it's helped
good.
that all the work that I've done on myself, because I can take responsibility for some of the problems that I was causing. So yeah, I hope that
Well
helps to answer
done,
the
well
question.
done.
Yeah,
Hi, Steve. Can you tell me your Facebook, please? Yeah, it's Facebook/ Crossroads Podcast UK or Crossroads Podcast www.uk. So like that, I can't remember what it is, but I will put it on the podcast in a minute. Um, uh, Hi, Steve. Congratulations about your about being put in the charts, podcast charts. Oh, thank you very much, folks. Thank you, thank you. I Would it be possible if Naomi comes back again? Comes back again? God, we're getting lots of stuff here. Um, and that's it, basically. Yeah, thank you very much, Naomi. That
brilliant.
was really, really, really good. Thank you, thank
Oh,
you.
thank you. Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
Okay, and so folks, we're gonna go now. If you could stay there for a minute, Naomi,
Yeah.
and I'll have a chat. In the meantime, guys, see you later on. See you about 7 o'clock
Thank
tonight.
you.
Bye bye.